The monsoon has played truant this year. Large areas of our country are in the grip of drought. Some others are devastated by floods. Inflation, particularly food inflation, remains a cause of worry. While our food availability remains healthy, we cannot forget the plight of those who made this possible even in a lean year. Our farmers, they have stood by the nation in its need. The nation must stand by them in their distress. I do not believe that there is any inherent contradiction in protecting our environment and economic development. As long as we heed Gandhiji's great lesson, there is sufficient in the world for men's need, but not for man's greed. We are safe. We must learn to live in harmony with nature. Nature cannot be consistent. We must be able to conserve her bounty during the many seasons of plenty, so that we are not bereft during the occasional bout of scarcity. Anger against the bitter pandemic of corruption is legitimate, as is the protest against this plague that is eroding the capability and potential of our nation. There are times when people lose their patience, but it cannot become an excuse for an assault on our democratic institutions. Institutions are the visible pillars of our Constitution, and if they crack when the idealism of our Constitution cannot hold, they are the interface between principles and the people. Our institutions may have suffered from the weariness of time. The answer is not to destroy what has been built, but to re-engineer them so that they become stronger than before. Institutions are the guardians of our liberty. The vigilance on our frontiers has to be matched with vigilance within. We must restore the credibility of those areas of our polity, judiciary, executive and legislature where complacency, exhaustion or maleficence may have clogged delivery. The people have a right to express their discontent, but we must also understand that legislation cannot be wrenched away from the legislature or justice from the judiciary. When authority becomes authoritarian, democracy suffers. But when protest becomes endemic, we are flirting with chaos. Democracy is a shared process. We all win or lose together. Democratic temper calls for dignity of behavior and tolerance of contrary views. Parliament will live by its own calendar and rhythm. Sometimes that rhythm sounds a bit atonal, but in a democracy there is always Judgment Day and election. Parliament is the soul of the people, the Atma of India. We challenge its rights and duties at our peril. I say this not in a spirit of admonition, but as a plea for greater understanding of the existential issues that lurk behind the mask of the mundane. Democracy is blessed with a unique opportunity of redress of grievances through the great institution of accountability, free elections. Old fires that threaten the stability of our nation have not been fully doused. The ash continues to smolder. It is particularly painful for me to witness the violence in Assam. Our minorities need solace, understanding and protection from aggression. Violence is not an option. Violence is an invitation to greater violence. Concrete attempts have been made to heal the wounds of Assam, including the Assam Accord conceived by our young and beloved former Prime Minister Rajiv Gandhi.